But let's first welcome in Josh Methner of Hershey High School. The senior and Notre Dame commit broke Craig Virgin's 47-year-old state record at Detweiller Park this weekend in Illinois, posting an incredible 3-mile time of 13:49.90. Many before him have failed. He did not. New record holder. Josh, welcome. How are you doing?
Okay, thank you for having me. I'm doing good.
Well, the first question, an obvious question, is what was your plan going into the state championships? Were you going for the record, and if so, why?
Yeah, going into the race, I think probably 3 days before, my coach and I were just like really seriously talking about it, and I was just planning on going out in like 4:35 the first mile, which is a little bit under the pace for 13:50, and just pushing the second mile is the biggest thing at Detweiler. The back triangles where like people say like your race can be made or ruined there. So pushing the second mile and then the last mile just as hard as I can really. And I didn't follow that quite to plan. I felt really good going into the first mile, like better than I've ever felt. Like I didn't expect to be leading it right away. And I think I went through in like 4:28, something like that. So faster than I wanted to, but I just kept it rolling, and it did definitely start hurting. The 1.5 to 2 mile mark was probably my biggest struggle, and then going into the last mile, just at a K to go actually is when I really started pushing it, and then I think 500 to go. I'll always remember this. I saw my brother, and he was just telling me, "Don't think, just run," and I went for it, and then I saw a ton of fans just on each side with like 200 to go, and it was really cool.
So, you talked to your coach a little bit beforehand. Was there anybody else that you kind of bounced some ideas off about the tactics, about pacing, and about what it will take to break that record? Was there any like guys from the past that you maybe connected with, like, hey, you were close, but what do you think I could do better to possibly get it?
I didn't really reach out to anyone. It's just my coach. I definitely trust everything he says. Yeah, it's pretty much me and my coach, and then obviously I talk to my teammates all the time just about things we could do together. So, yeah.
Yeah, but looking at it though, I mean, like I said before, a lot of guys have failed at trying to break Craig Virgin's record before, and you're the first to do it in 47 years, so that has to be special. But were you intimidated by that at all, knowing that a lot of guys have gone for this and they haven't gotten it? So when you were talking to your coach, like, what kinds of things were you sort of like trying to feel out?
Yeah, I mean, the past 3 weeks have probably been really good weeks for me, just working out and just doing workouts at that pace. Just right under 14 flat was kind of the paces I've been doing, and then some were a little faster. But Max Saventi was one of my teammates that I do workouts with mainly, and like he was right with me on like a ton of them. So like having him help me in workouts was huge. Yeah, I don't know what else.
At what point did you start to sense the crowd was getting behind you in this effort? You have a really good first mile, a little quicker than maybe you anticipated. Second mile, you're on pace. At what point was the crowd like, oh my God, like this is happening?
Yeah, going into the second mile is also where the same straight you go down for the finish too. So there's always a huge crowd on both sides of you just running through. So going in the second mile, I saw it was about 9:12. I was like, ooh, that's pretty fast. So I knew I was on pace. So going through there, the crowd was definitely louder than I've ever heard it before. And after I passed the crowd was kind of where the K to go mark was, which was kind of like where I took off. And so I just having that crowd momentum into that was really cool.
So, Craig Virgin, he has been to several of the state meets as we talked about before. He's always seems to be there. Did you guys talk afterwards, and what did he kind of say to you about the record and you taking it from him?
Yeah, right after I finished, I saw my mom. She was on like the other side of the corral. I went and hugged her, and then after that, Craig came up to me and we took a picture together, and then he just congratulated me. He's like, yeah, I think you got it. That's really special. And then after that, I was just like waiting for my teammates to finish. So we stopped talking then. But after that, at the award ceremony, I remember one thing he said to me was just, don't get too high on your highs or too low on your lows. Stay consistent with everything. Yeah, and he was really kind to me and had a lot of kind words to say. So it was really cool.
That's great advice.
Yeah, that's
by
really,
the way.
really good advice.
You've had a lot of highs. You're two-time All-American from last year and had a great year so far this year. I want to ask you, I guess, about some of the efforts this year from guys across the country. They've broken some records. Nico Young is one out of California who's run the fastest 3-mile all time at Woodbridge. We've had Leo Dashbeck and Cole Sprout go at it 5K. This weekend even, we had Ryan Shoppy from Texas run second fastest 5K. So were you looking at maybe what other guys were doing, and did you kind of want to get in the conversation? Not that you're thinking like, hey, I want to be a part of this, but like, did that kind of impact how you would race?
I mean, I've seen most of those results, but I guess now that I think about it, it's never been like a thought in the back of my head that since these guys are running fast, I gotta run shit. Yeah, I just want to just do it for myself, for my coach, for my team. Like I know it sounds cliche, yeah, I've said it before, but like all the hard work we put in, like it's paid off. So.
Any lighter moments from the state championships? Yeah. Like any moments where you just had to laugh about it, or things that were just funny?
I mean, the one thing I heard from, I think it was my coach or someone else. Usually Craig, I know Craig usually is in the back of the truck on the lead truck that is in front of me for the race, and he wasn't there this time, and so he saw the race from the sidelines, I think, on the race. But I thought it was interesting.
Okay.
What do you love most about running at Detweiller, and just like this is your several times you've been to state? What are you going to remember about this experience in particular, and just being there, and I'm sure your team having being there with you by your side and things.
Yeah, last year was really special. We got second as a team at state, and we kind of carried that momentum into this year. And I think we finished 7th, but it wasn't what we wanted. But just sharing all my achievement and everyone else's who ran well on Saturday. We all shared together at the awards on the bus ride home. We all my goal of running fast was helped by them.
So last year you competed both at Foot Locker and NXN. Is that your plan again for this year?
Yeah, I'll be running both.
So it's a quick turnover. You have NXR Midwest coming up this weekend. So how have maybe you adjusted in this short week heading into that race?
I just took an easy day Sunday and just keep the mileage steady for these next few weeks so that I can kind of peak when I want to for the Nationals.
And I mean, last year you were All-American in both races, and this year is probably as talented or more talented, it seems like. What do you think it's going to take to win either race?
I think both races I'll just have to be patient in and just find the right people to run with, I guess, and find the right time to make my moves. So race smarter this year.
Has that been your MO this year? Just racing smarter, racing a lot within yourself this year? Is that your MO?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Josh, thank you so much for being with us. Many congratulations on that effort. It was awesome, and you'll go down now, Illinois State record holder at 3 miles.
One more. How long do you think this record's going to stand before?
That's a good question.
It's going to be broken again. 47 years is a long time, and you come along and get it. Do you think it'll be 50? Do you think it'll be 60, 10, 1? What do you think if you had to gamble here?
Oh, I have no idea. I want to put a number on it, but it's definitely really cool.
Awesome.
Congrats, man. Well, you take care.
Yeah,
we will see you out there at your races coming up. All right. Take care.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one.
Yep. You too. Great kid. Great record.
Yeah.
And now he's got even more on his plate. So.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how, that kind of came to my head at the last second. I was like, hey, it's been there for 47 years and you broke it, yesterday or this weekend. What if somebody comes along and breaks it next year? What if somebody comes 2 years, 10 years? You don't know with a record. That's kind of the cool thing about it, I guess. Craig was lucky to have that for almost half a century. So I wonder if Josh's will be there for longer, just as long or longer. It'll be interesting.
I remember we talked about it, maybe it was a few episodes ago, right when we were getting into state championship season. Would you, in most situations, go for a state championship or like a course or school record? Because we were saying, like, if you have a state championship, that lasts forever, right? That's never going to take that away from you. You're 2019 state champion, but if you go for a record, that always has the potential to get broken. Yeah. But I think in this situation, like,
best of both worlds.
Yeah, you definitely got the best of both worlds there. Yeah, for sure.
It's insane. He's going to have that record for, who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe another 47 years.
Well, we're going to stick on this, correct?
Yeah, I think we should keep talking about it. We got Josh's take on how the race went, how he saw it play out, what his plan was. But I want to hear what both of your takes are on the entire thing, what you were expecting from him. Did it surprise you? What do you think of this?
Do you want to start? I mean,
yeah, I think I'll go a little bit over the history of this. Craig Virgin's time before Josh broke it by less than a second was 13:50.60. Heading into the state meet, I think it was only 8 guys have run under 14 minutes for this. Only 7 athletes have run under 14 minutes on this course, Detweiller. Well, it's mostly flat. Josh said there's a big loop and then there's a tiny loop within that. There's a small variance of grade hills, but for the most part, this is a very flat and fast course. And that's why you've got a lot of fast times on it, and a lot of Illinois athletes run on it throughout the season. Richard Springs is in it in the beginning of the season. Detweiller at Dark is on it. So everyone in Illinois knows this course, but not everyone has a chance to go after it. Some of the best named guys from Illinois historically, Nequa Valley's Chris Derrick in 2007. Missed it by 2 seconds. Sandberg's Lucas Versbicas in 2010 missed it by 4 seconds. Even in 2017, Dylan Jacobs, who ended up going on to win Foot Locker Nationals, missed it by 7 seconds. So, it's not an easy course to break. Even if you are talented, it takes a Herculean effort to do so. And I think it is special that Josh was able to do it, because I don't think a lot of people, suspected that he would go after it.
Yeah, I think it's special. It's not super surprising to me. I think for the fact that Josh was an All-American twice last year, he is solid on the cross-country course. He's been undefeated all year. And I think this is the first time we've really got a peek under the hood at, if it was like a sports car. This is the first time we really get to see the engine and what he can do. I really think that, this is just kind of the tip of the iceberg, and it seems like he's peaked and he's been training right. If you look at what he's been able to do all season, he's run some pretty sloppy course conditions. So I'm sure, getting out there this weekend was probably, great, and he just ripped one.
I will say this. Josh said he doesn't know who's going to break the record from here on out. But if I had to guess, I would say it would be somebody from Sandberg High School. Many guys who have run under 14 minutes on this course, 3 of them are all from Sandberg. So The next time Sandberg, which is a good running program, gets a good guy, you can bet that he might go after the record here. But hopefully it stands. This is one of these races that hopefully it stands for a long time.
Yeah.